Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good morning to my students under Correctional Administration 2, which is non-institutional correction. So, Baloy base. So, this is the continuation of our subject. So, let's proceed with the provision kung saan nangalahati tayo ng kaunti sa provision. So, dito tayo magpo-focus sa history kung saan nagkaroon na tayo ng pagkakalam kung paano naging batas sa Pilipinas ang provision. So, provision was first introduced in the Philippines during the American colonial period in 1898-1948 with the enactment. Okay, so nagkaroon tayo ng provision sa Pilipinas sa American colonial period in 1898-1945. So, dyan natin na-adapt kung saan meron tayong Act number 4221 na ginawa sa ating legislature on August 7, 1935. So, this law created a provision office under the Department of Justice. So, ang batas na ito ang nagsasaad kung saan nakagawa ng provision office under sa Department of Justice. Noong November 16, 1937, pagkatapos ng 2 taon na existence ng provision sa Pilipinas, the Supreme Court of the Philippines declared the provision law unconstitutional. So, itong Act number 4221, so, naging unconstitutional because of some defects in the law's procedural framework. So, bakit? Ano ang problema? So, may mga pagkakamali na nangyari na nakasaad dun sa ating batas. So, in 1972, mayroon tayong House Bill number 393 was filed in Congress. Ibig sabihin, kapag House Bill pa lang, hindi pa yan nagiging batas. Pag-aaralan pa yan, mayroon pang third reading, hearing sa Congress, which would establish a provision system in the Philippines. Tandaan natin, in 1972, mayroon tayong House Bill number 393. This bill avoided the objectionable features of Act 4221 that struck down in 1935 law as unconstitutional. So, inalis yung mga section ng mga nakasaad doon na hindi constitutional. The bill was passed by the House of Representatives but was pending in the Senate when martial law was declared. So naipasa ito sa House of Representatives, pero napending siya nang magkaroon tayo ng martial law na na-declare at ang Congress ay na-abolish. Okay. While in 1975, after 3 years, the National Police Commission interdisciplinary drafted a provision law. So, makita natin, meron tayong NAPOLCOM. So, gumawa sila, nag-draft sila ng provision law after 18 technical hearings over a 6 period of 6 months. Tandaan natin, NAPOLCOM nag-draft ng provision law pagkatapos ng 18 hearings. Sa loob ng 6 months, the draft decree was presented to a selected group of 369 juries. So, 369 juries, penologies, so lahat na yan nandyan. Kung sino yung nag-draft, so itong penologists, civic leaders, and social and behavioral scientists and practitioners. Tandaan niyo yung mga nabanggit dyan, baka mamaya sa board exam is malagay yan sa choices. The group overwhelmingly endorsed the establishment of an adult provision system in the country. Kung saan mayroon na tayong adult provision system in the Philippines. On 24 of July 1976, mayroon tayong Presidential Decree number 968. So ito yung sinasabi nating Adult Provision Law of 1976. Always remember this one because this is the Adult Provision Law of the Philippines. Was signed to law by the President of the Philippines. The operationalization of the provision system in 1976-1977 was a massive undertaking during which all judges and prosecutors nationwide were trained in provision methods and procedures. So, naging pa siya, habang pinapatakbo siya yung operation, so binigyan ng trainings, seminars, para lalong maganda yung pagpapatupad ng ating provision law sa Pilipinas. Administrative and procedural manuals were developed. Gumawa tayo ng batas, provision officer, mga manual, provision officers recruited and trained. So meron na tayong provision officers and the central agency and provision field offices organized throughout the country. So always remember na itong provision law natin is meron na Presidential Decree numbers 968. So 15 selected provision officers were sent to United States of America. So ilan sila? So lahat is 15. Saan sila? Dinala sa United States of America para magkaroon ng orientation, and training, and provision, and administration. So, pagkatapos, pagbalik nila, inassign sila sa kani-kanya nilang position para mag-train ng mga bagong recruited provision officers. The provision system started, nag-operate yan ng January 3, 1978. More provision officers were recruited and trained, more field offices were opened. So, dyan, lumaganap ang ating provision system in the Philippines. So, ano ang role ng provision sa correction system? So, bakit mayroon tayong provision? At saka anong connection niya? Anong role niya, trabaho niya sa correction system? Tandaan natin na provision is a part of the correctional system. So, di ba makikita natin, ang provision is binibigay doon sa mga accused, mga convicted, na hindi lumalagpas ng 6 na taon ng pagkakulong. So, ang correct provision, hindi lamang siya face ng penology, kung hindi kasarin siya na tumutulong dun sa pagsugpo ng ating pagpapatupad ng ating criminal laws. So, enforcement ng ating batas. Dahil, nagsasaad dito na kapag binigyan mo ng provision ang isang convicted offender, so, magpapatupad ka ng supervision. Naglalaan na may restriction at saka limitation na sumasaklaw sa kanya. So, trabaho rin natin ng pagpapatupad ng batas sa kanya. So, it is a part of an entire structure and only a single feature of a well-rounded correctional process. So, kasali siya dun sa bumubuo sa ating correctional process. So, marami tayong katulad ng parole, katulad ng pardon. So, isa lamang ang provision sa kanila. So, provision is a form of treatment of the convicted offender. So, ginagawa natin ito para ma-reform yung ating convicted offender na mabuhay ng payapa sa labas ng kulungan while serving his sentence. So, yon. It is not a clemency, ibig sabihin ito binibigay ng presidente, pity or leniency to the offender. So, hindi ito dahil naawa tayo sa kanya o gusto natin siyang bigyan ng pabor, but rather substitute for imprisonment. So, substitute ito sa imprisonment. Bakit? Dahil halimbawa, marami siyang pamilya, marami siyang anak. So, kinakailangan niya ng suporta, kinakailangan na magsuporta. So, wag na natin siya ilagay sa kulungan since hindi naman masyadong agresibo yung kanyang ginawang krimen. So, there are some offenders who must go to prison for their own good and for the good of the society. So, meron namang mga offender, may mga convicted na kinakailangan natin ilagay sa loob ng kulungan dahil yun ang makakabuti sa kanila at makakabuti sa ating society. Because there's present in the community, okay, so magiging threats, kinatakutan siya, litasin, kinatakutan siya, or nagbe-break siya ng law. So, other less inured to crime can remain in the community after conviction where they are given a chance to conform to the demands of the society. So, kinakailangan nilang sumunod dun sa mga patakaran, limitation, and restriction na binibigay ng BASAD. So, yon ang ating provision. So, provision is compared to an outpatient. So, parang nasa hospital tayo na OPD. Di ba? OPD, outpatient department. So, dito naman, ang provision is, while you are serving your imprisonment, so substitute na sa labas ka. So, yun ang ating sinasabi. So, the outpatient does not need to be confined in a hospital because his sickness is not serious. So, alam natin yan. However, the patient must remain under the care. So kinakailangan pa rin silang i-supervise ng provision officer para makita natin kung paano ang kanilang treatment, ang kanilang reformation and rehabilitation while they are outside the correctional facilities. Similarly, the provisioner does not need to go to prison, okay? But he should remain under yun ang sabi natin. So, yun, kinakailangan niyang sumunod sa pangapatakaran. Provision is given in cases that the ends of justice do not require that the offender go to prison. So, yun. So, marami. Halimbawa, ang kaso niya is libel, for example. So, let us say, ganun ang binigay sa kanya. So, kinakailangan natin, tag dito, respect. This is also when all the following circumstances exist. So, kaya yun. So, kinakailangan pinag-aralan niya ng judge dahil siya ang mismo ang nagbibigay ng tawag dito ng provision. That there is a strong likelihood that the defendant will reform. So, makikita natin sa kanila pwede siya mag-reform. Maliit ang danger o serious injury na pwedeng halimbawa ni siya balikan ng kanyang biktima. That the crime is committed is not one is repugnant to society. So, hindi naman makakasira, hindi naman na nasira yung society. Yung mga less lang. That he has no previous record of conviction. So, wala siyang previous na conviction and that the deterrent effect of imprisonment is not required. So, yun. So, wala siyang ibang pananagutan sa batas. The person who is placed on probation is not a free man. So, hindi siya free man dahil kinakailangan niyang mamuhay doon lamang sa specified area. Ibig sabihin, doon sa residence na nilagay niya doon sa kanyang limitation restriction. He is deprived of certain rights and privileges of citizenship. So, meron siyang mayroong mga privileges at saka rights na hindi niya binigay. For example, hindi siya pwedeng magpakasal, hindi siya pwedeng pumunta kung saan niya gusto pumunta, hindi siya pwedeng bumoto. But he retains some other rights and essential to dignity. So, halimbawa, pinapagtrabaho siya ng maayos, so pwede niyang gawin yung kanyang trabaho.